Hello everybody, so we're going to dive a little bit more into Peter Sewell's evidence to the inquiry. So he was a project manager, a former project manager at Fujitsu, managing a development team related to the Horizon project. Let's jump in and hear what he has to say.
Evidence and will be published on the inquiry's website in due course. I'd like to start with a bit of your background. I think you joined what was then ICL in 1997, is that correct?
Yes.
So ICL was the company that was originally contracted to provide the Horizon system for the post office, and that subsequently got taken over by Fujitsu.
Yes, 97.
We've heard quite a lot of evidence about the rollout of Horizon. Were you involved in the rollout of Horizon?
Only in the positions that I've stated in my...
Typically, say in the year 2000 then, what kind of involvement would you have had with the Horizon system?
I was probably manager of a development team.
Probably. To be fair, it is 24 years ago.
In that area.
So you were on the technical side?
No. I was the manager, not the technical manager.
So you managed it?
Interesting. Wonder whether they had a development lead in that team who was managing the technical side then, as well as him as a project manager. That would be interesting to know.
A group of technical people.
I did, sir, yes.
In 2002, you joined the POA security team. That's the Post Office Account Security Team.
Yes.
And then in 2007, you became Operations Team Manager in that team. Is that
Yes,
right?
That's right.
Briefly, what did the Operations Team Manager role involve?
It really managed the team of 3 or 4 people in the security team who carried out various security processes and functions.
You say 3 or 4. Are you able to assist us with their names?
Andy Dunks, Naina Lowther, Bill Membry and Penny Thomas.
So Andy Dunks, if we remember, was the guy who was given the pep talk to, or I think he disputed whether it was a pep talk, but over the nasty chap email when speaking about Lee Castleton later on.
Thank you. We're going to also hear from Miss Munro later today. Can you assist us with where you fit in with that line management?
I don't. I left ICL Fujitsu before Donna took over my role.
So she took over your role?
I believe so.
Thank you. We're going to see the name Brian Pinder as well. Can you assist us with where he fit into things?
Brian Pinder was my manager. He was the security manager when one of the managers while I was in the security team.
Thank you. The first document we're going to look at is FUJ 001222151. This is a document from the 7th of December 2005, so it predates your time as Operations Team Manager.
Yep.
At this time, then, were you just a member of that team?
Yes, I was doing various tasks for the manager. And there were several managers.
Were you a more senior member of the team?
I guess so, yes. More of a project manager.
Thank you. It's an email from Penny Thomas to yourself and others in the team. The subject is witness statement review. Attachments, Penny's standard template, December 2005. And she says, please find attached a copy of my initial markup of my witness statement, which I will send to Graham Ward this morning. Can you assist us with what involvement you had with the standard template that was being circulated?
Not a great deal. I didn't involve myself with any of the witness statements at all.
Why would she have been sending it to you?
I think out of a standard way of letting someone see what she's done. And I was that person because I was a manager.
So you were her manager at this time?
What date was it?
This was 2005.
I don't think I was, no.
No.
So there we've got it. Peter Sewell's overview of how he fit into the team, going through various roles prior to him leaving. I think he said in 2009, but it's clear that he had involvement as a member of the team in the early days related to Horizon, before subsequently taking on the manager role and then what sounded like a senior manager role. So he's in a position to know what was happening, at least in part, with the development of Horizon, even if not on the technical side, but from a non-technical project manager point of view.
So you were her manager at this time?
What date was it?
This was 2005.
I don't think I was, no.
No. So we have your
There seems to be a bit of confusion here. I was a manager, I wasn't a manager, I don't think I was at this time, so it's interesting. But presumably, witness statement review being the subject, presumably, as it was sent to him, she wanted some kind of response. I've not included additional applications which Gareth highlighted. Wonder what they are. I thought I'd do that once I understood more about them. Please let me have any comments you have ASAP. Kind regards, Penny. So Penny is obviously expecting a response, probably from Peter Sewell, Brian Pinder and Nina Lothar, but certainly one of them, based off what she's put in their own email there.
Your name, we have Brian Pinder's name, we have Nina Lothar's name.
Yep.
So only 3 core
Yep.
recipients,
Yep.
and you're saying it's just for information.
Well, information is...
Well, CC would normally be used for information, as she has done here, so she is aware to use it. We can see it's been CC'd to Gareth Jenkins, who she has also included in the email body, saying that he's already highlighted something, so I would suggest Gareth Jenkins is probably the one included for information, and that at least, potentially, Penny Thomas's intent here is that Peter Sewell, Brian Pinder and Nina Lothar respond to this.
As far as I can see, that was pretty much the security team, yes.
Can we please look at the statement that she was attaching? That's FUJ 001222152. This is a template. We've already seen this a couple of days ago.
Right, so let's dissect this. It looks like some kind of standard template. So statement of and then the name of the person. Looks like a formal statement to be made. So the statement consisting of X pages signed by me is true to the best of my belief and knowledge, and I make it knowing that if it is tendered as evidence, I shall be liable to prosecution if I have willfully stated anything in it which I know to be false or do not believe to be true. Dated blah. So a very standard witness statement that's obviously being prepared for court proceedings, and then signature will be below. So I've been employed by Fujitsu Services Post Office account, formerly ICL Pathway Limited, which was the precursor to the Fujitsu takeover, since 20th of January 2004 as an information technology security analyst responsible for audit, data extractions and IT security. So I'm guessing the core part of the IT security team was auditing data transactions, which we know have been vital. We've seen the depiction of the auditors in Mr. Bates versus the Post Office, and we know that presumably they are responsible for providing the Horizon evidence that was used in the trials of the subpostmasters. I have working knowledge of the computer system known as Horizon, which is a computerized accounting system used by Post Office Limited. I am authorized by Fujitsu Services to undertake extractions of audit data held on the Horizon system and to obtain information regarding system transaction information processed on the Horizon system. So given a bit of precursor, a bit of a background to who they are, who they work for, since since they've worked there, and also their role within Fujitsu. Horizon's documented processes relate to each post office outlet. They state that at each post office there are counter positions which have a computer terminal, a visual display unit and a keyboard and printer. The individual system records all transactions input by the counter clerk working at the counter position. Each clerk logs onto the system by using their own unique password. So what they're setting the scene here, basically saying Horizon, each implementation is individual. Notice so far they've not mentioned anything to do with remote access. They say they've got their own unique password. Now this has obviously been challenged in the sense that some people have mentioned about using subpostmasters passwords and or setting up admin accounts to access the system. So that seems to be not included here. The transactions performed by each clerk and the associated cash and stock level information are recorded by the computer system in the stock unit. Once logged on, any transactions performed by the clerk must be recorded and entered onto the computer and accounted for within the user's allocated stock unit. So, next section, the Horizon system provides a number of daily and weekly records of all the transactions input into it. These are the reports that we saw them running off where the shortfalls appeared in the drama and the documentary, and according to the subpostmasters account of what they went through as subpostmasters. It enables post office users to obtain computer summaries for individual clients of Post Office Limited, e.g. National Savings Bank, Gyrobank, Driver Vehicle Licensing Agency and Department for Work and Pensions. Obviously there's different things involved because the Post Office dealt with savings, Gyrobank, so benefits payments from the Department of Work and Pensions, and DVLA for tax dis and the like. The Horizon system also enables the clerk to produce a periodic balance of cash and stock on hand combined with other transactions. Okay, so they can check where they're up to see if they're in surplus, shortfall, or if it balances. So far, so good. Wonder, sharing the standard template isn't necessarily an issue, but obviously shows that they wanted to get their statements in line with each other, and or the fact that they were having to provide so many witness statements, they needed a more efficient process to do it, which again might start ringing alarm bells. Why there's so many witness statements and so many prosecutions? I guess it's easier to look back in hindsight. So there it is, Peter Sewell, former project manager at Fujitsu, talking about his involvement, an overview in the security team at Fujitsu, managing the post office accounts, and as well his initial involvement in the drafting of a stock template for Fujitsu witness statements to be submitted for the court trials for the subpostmasters. Obviously, we know later on now that some of the witness statements and expert testimony have been subsequently called into question that were provided at those trials. And as a quick update to the petition, we're now on 235,212. Thank you for all your support and messages once again. Thanks to Sarah, Shirley and Catherine who've signed in the past few minutes. It's really important that we continue to hold Fujitsu to account for the post office scandal. So please keep on signing, please keep on sharing. Take care. Bye.